Welcome to Baby Boomer Tales. My name's Jim. I just got back from vacation and I have not recorded a podcast for about a month. If you're a long-time listener here, you know I like to stash some into the bank, usually 4 or 5 of them in advance, just in case something in life comes up that I couldn't get back to those. I also have instituted putting silver oldies on once a quarter. This is our 350th episode, so I feel that if I do a silver oldie from, say, episode 39, most people don't go back that far. A lot of podcast providers don't let you go back that far, in fact. I do see where some people do start listening from the beginning if they like it and eventually get them all listened to. I can tell that on some of my reports, but not a big percentage of folks. So anyway, I'm a little rusty. I'm a little rusty. We went to Branson to spend about 3 days, first of all, and my wife had a thing where we had to come back after only 1 day and 1 night, and took her to the emergency room, but they fixed her up and we continued our vacation. We went to Colorado. We were going to make a big circle down to Branson, then go the southern way into Colorado, and then start north once we hit that state. But it didn't work out for us that way, so we just feet it towards our daughter's home. Spent a while with her, over a week, and then we went and saw one of my brothers and my sister in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. That was kind of like a halfway point for all of us to meet up, and that was very nice. Spent about 3 hours with them before we started home, and we had to drive through snow and bad roads and car wrecks and everything, but we somehow made it down into Denver, spent the night in Denver, and then drove on home after that. Quite the trip, I'll tell you what. It was supposed to be one of those things where we did a lot of different things, and because of what happened with my wife, some of that stuff got cut short. But I thank goodness that she is okay. She's kind of gimping around a little, but she'll be fine. It was wonderful to see family. Got to watch some of the grandsons play football. It was quite the time. I really enjoyed myself. I did. So anyway, I'm recording this on the 5th of October, and it will be released in 3 days. So I've got to start doing 2 a week until I get my bank account back full of podcasts. And I can do that once winter comes because I don't have as many things demanding me to do other things like mow, cut trees down. That's coming up. Fall is the time to get ready for winter. But we'll keep these coming every Wednesday morning. Hopefully I can keep doing them. We've done them for about 7 years now. What I'm talking about this week are opposites. I titled this episode Opposite Day, and I don't know if I'll be able to pull this off like I thought in my mind. I came up with this idea before we ever went on vacation, so let me start here so I have enough time. Opposites are kind of funny, you know. The opposite of good is bad, happy is sad, big is small, in is out, open is close, fast is slow, clean is dirty, hot is cold, up is down. How about words that are their own opposites, like dust and dust? That table, there's so much dust on it. I must dust it. To get that dust off, I have to dust the table. Buckle, it could mean either hold up or give way, like the road buckled. First degree, in murder, first degree is bad. In burns, it's not as bad as third degree. Rent depends on what side of the rent you're on, tenant or landlord. They're definitely opposite, if you have to pay or if you collect. What about if you rock something, like if you rock a baby to sleep? But if you rock someone to wake them up, you're rocking them hard. Strike is to hit or blow. But in baseball, if you strike, you missed hitting it. Trim. If you trim a tree, and that's the first thing I did when I got back the other day, is I trimmed this one tree. It's a pear tree. It was so heavy with these pears that it was like I couldn't mow under it. It was like touching the ground almost. So I trimmed the tree. I cut some of the branches off. But if you trim a Christmas tree, you are adding things, garland and icicles and ornaments, maybe popcorn. You know what I mean? Clip. If you clip the grass, you're removing it. But if you clip some papers together with a paper clip, you're joining them to clip. Our song of the week is Hello Goodbye by the Beatles. Written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney, with McCartney's influence on this one in 1967. It topped the charts all over the world. Originally, they thought it would be the B-side to I Am the Walrus, but I Am the Walrus took the B-side because this song became so popular. It is the first single released by the Beatles after manager Brian Epstein's death. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello. Some of the things we say that is really the opposite of what they mean. Bad. Man, that movie was so bad, and what they're saying is it's good. It's the bomb. Obama's supposed to blow stuff up. And this means it's great. It's wonderful. Man, the joke they told is sick. What they meant is it's good. Where really, if you're sick, it's bad. A classic example of opposites back in the 50s and possibly early 60s is Sadie Hawkins Day. Traditionally, the boy would ask the girl out, and the girl would ask the boy out to a dance on Sadie Hawkins Day. I think it was derived from the cartoon Little Abner. Okay, let me see if I can do this. I don't want to make anybody mad here, but I have opinions and I want to voice a few of them. I try to stay unpolitical. Is unpolitical even a word? I don't want to push my stuff like that on you. I don't. I very much, we all have opinions, every one of us. If you're human, you have opinions about something. But I'd rather voice them here than say on social media, because that is a place where your opinion can become very toxic. All of a sudden, half of your friends, in quotation marks, are disagreeing with you and telling you how terrible you are and stuff. And life's too short for that. I don't need that. You don't need that. We don't need that. It's the dark side of the information age, that's for sure. It's too bad, too. It really is that we can't disagree without being disagreeable, but it is what it is. So I stay away from that. I don't want to lose the one thing that I go over and over and over and strive all my life to be, and that is kind. If I get into arguments and shouting matches and all that stuff over something that you have no control of, really, you're going to not be kind. That is the mantra of baby boomer tells, if nothing else, is be kind, no matter what. Do the best you can. But let me travel forward here. If I had opposite day, when I got up in the morning, I wouldn't wash my face, I wouldn't brush my teeth, I wouldn't put my glasses on. When I went out, I wouldn't wear a t-shirt. I'd probably wear, some kind of dress shirt. I wouldn't wear my blue jeans. What's the opposite of blue jeans? Let's just say cargo shorts, but I do wear cargo shorts sometimes. I would dress the opposite of the way I actually would. This is falling apart on me fast here. What got me going on this? Let me just say this. Little kids are furries, some of them. They call them furries, where they think they're an animal. And in society today, we encourage such behavior. Well, when I was a kid, I could play like I was a dog or a cat or a skunk, whatever. And then finally, my mom would say, "Will you stop playing that game and go take the trash out or something?" But in today's world, a lot of that is encouraged. And encouraged, you want to be a cat, be a cat. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And I say that if that was my kid, even if I had pressure on them, let them be a cat, well, then they would have to use a litter box and eat Friskies out of a can. Maybe the hard stuff out of a sack. And that's it. Water bowl, you're eating on the floor, kid. Yeah, until you decide to be a kid again. You can play cat all you want, but you're my kid. And when it's time to stop playing cat, you're going to be a kid and do your homework. Watch TV, eat dinner at the dinner table. Answer in words and not meows, etc., etc. But, who can blame the stupid kid, right? Who can blame the kid? Because they see mom or dad taking their dog into Home Depot or the grocery store to do their shopping. That's wrong on many, many levels to me. Number one, I like dogs. I think dogs are great. Dogs are wonderful. But I'll tell you what, now, if I had taken my dog into the store, first thing he's going to do is pee on something to mark his territory. That's what dogs do. That's why they are outside. And so now the next dog comes along, and he smells, even if cleanup on all three happens, well, that dog's going to know that some dog peed there before him, so he's going to pee where that dog peed, just to show him that, hey, I challenge that mark in your territory. But what do I know? People put their kids on leashes anymore. When my girls were little, we used to have to go and meet salespeople in their showrooms to buy things for our store. Some of the places were crystal glass, and real expensive stuff. And my girls had orders from headquarters. You put your hands in your pockets and you sit down here with your backs against the wall and you don't move until we leave. If I had to take them on a business buying outing. Today, the kids are so wild, you'd have to put a leash on them. The leash is for the dog, and the leash and the dog belong outside, not in the store. And so not the kid on the leash. And if you do that, that's fine. I don't care. I really don't care. You can do how you want. But I would never do that. And if my kids do that, I would tell them. And if they get mad at me, well, better examine something. Is old Papa wrong or what? Anyway, so everything's opposite. Taking dogs into stores, letting kids be a dog, treating kids like a dog by having a leash, and yet encouraging such behavior? I don't know. What do you think? You can write me at babyboomertales@gmail.com. You can tell me if I was hurt your feelings or offended you or anything, or you can even tell me that you agree. That's the thing. I get two kinds of emails, it seems like. Either people saying that so-and-so episode was pretty good and they liked it, or somebody volunteering to be a guest on Baby Boomer Tales. And I always write them back and say, have you listened to my podcast? I don't have guests. Now, I used to have guests when we did videos, and you can find those on YouTube, but I don't have that anymore. I'd like to. It was too much work. If I had a secretary that got me all together for it, maybe I would. Okay, let me keep going here. You go into the store and buy something, and they don't have a bag for you to carry it out. I'd say that something's opposite there, right? Now, if I went in the store and didn't buy anything, I would expect no bag. But I walk into the store and buy something, and I expect a bag. That's a result of me being in Colorado. Those crazy people there have some kind of law that you can't have a bag. That is just ignorance gone to seed as far as I'm concerned. Come on, I'm buying a bunch of stuff. You want me to carry it out and juggle it with no bag? Come on. Whew. Anyway. Same way with straws, California. Same way with straws. Let's see, you can't have a plastic straw, but you can have a biodegradable paper straw, but we're going to wrap it in plastic to keep it fresh for you. It's just stupid. I'm not going to talk about tattoos, except for my uncle had tattoos on his forearms. He was either in the Korean War, I think it was, or World War II. Anyway, it was military. Today, I just got back from the grocery store when I got home. I went to the grocery store, and little old ladies, tattoos all over their legs and arms. And if that's you, that's fine. It's just not attractive for me. In fact, it's a big turn off. So don't hate me if you have a tattoo. Really, really don't. I have relatives with tattoos. I love them. I love them. But I would prefer they didn't have them, or at least where I had to see them. Smart technology? Just watch Terminator. Just watch Terminator. In this information age, there are more lonely people than ever before. And there's information, and you can talk to somebody. You can talk to a daggone robot if you want. In fact, this AI, they encourage you. Make a friend that's, And the last thing I want to say is, for 25 years, we had DVR and didn't watch a commercial. And the last 2 years, we did more streaming, and where all that stuff used to be commercial free, now you have to sit through commercials. You can't even fast forward through them. And they're the same commercial, 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 same commercial over and over and over. Even if you change shows, even if you change streaming services, something has to be done. People unite against the robots and the streaming services. And here's probably the most unreal opposite I ever encountered in my whole entire life before I let you go here. And I noticed it, and I think it happens in people my age even, but I noticed it when I was like a teenager more than anything. Playing hard to get. I still don't understand the concept. If you play hard to get, I'm going to like you more. I never was very good at that. If they played hard to get, I just felt rejected and went on my own little old way. Anyway, always be kind. I hope I made sense. I'll find out when I edit this puppy out. I'll be back next Wednesday. That's my plan. Thank you for riding along with me. Peace out.
Goodbye.